there's a giant new article on C Street that has been published by this Christian magazine that's called The World. There are two big, relatively mainstream Christian right magazines in the U.S., and one of them's Christianity Today, one's called The World, and The World just did a huge new cover story on C Street.
Oh, okay.
And it's kind of, I haven't read the whole thing, but it's like interviews with people who left the family and have lots of criticism for it, and an explanation of how they don't consider themselves Christians. There's stuff on all the dictators who the group's leader has met with, and how that guy has put 11 of his family members on the group's payroll.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's that story from The World is linked at our website today in case anybody else wants to do their homework with me over the weekend.
Absolutely,
on C Street.
Yeah.
But here's what I wanted to say about for today's cocktail moment. You know the Christian Broadcasting Network?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
They have also just done a big story on C Street, and they took a little shot at me. They're hosted in the coverage of it. But check out what they say is the real story about C Street. They say that the real story of C Street is not conservative politicians having affairs while they were supposedly being held accountable at C Street. That's not the real story. The real story is how many other affairs C Street must have thwarted.
Oh.
How many other affairs, C Street conservatives would have been having if they hadn't been kept so accountable by C Street. Check this out. It's amazing. Check it out.
The fact of the matter is, what you ought to do if you want to do a real story on C Street is find out how many affairs were thwarted because of the accountability of this House.
Holding politicians accountable spiritually in the nation's capital. Not an easy job at all. David Brody, CBN News, Washington.
It's not an easy job at all, and I applaud Doug Coe for what he's doing and the fact that he keeps it secret, and the fact that he doesn't do interviews. It enables him to be an effective minister to people in power.
And he said it's a sort of a totalitarian idea of Christianity, and he gave as examples men who he believed understood the way power should be wielded. He actually gave as examples Hitler, Pol Pot, Osama bin Laden, and Lenin. Wow.
And I applaud Doug Coe for what he's doing and the fact that he keeps it secret.
And it goes back 70 years when the founder believed that God gave him a new revelation.
And I applaud Doug Coe for what he's doing and the fact that he keeps it secret.
It saw its role as promoting American power worldwide, unfettered capitalism, no unions, no programs to help poor people, all with this idea that godly, powerful, rich men should get as many resources as possible personally, and they should just privately help everyone else. That was the impression that I was left with. Was I close?
That's dead on the money.
And I applaud Doug Coe for what he's doing and the fact that he keeps it secret.
And that what most people think of as Christianity as being about, you know, helping the weak and the poor and the meek and the down and out. He believes God came to him one night in April 1935 and said, what Christianity should really be about is building more power for the already powerful. And that these powerful men who are chosen by God can then, if they want to, dispense blessings to the rest of us through kind of trickle-down fundamentalism.
And I applaud Doug Coe for what he's doing and the fact that he keeps it secret.
Yeah, no, I think actually Governor Sanford made it very clear when he cited King David as an example of the reason why he wasn't going to be resigning office. And that just struck a bell with me because the King David story is a core teaching of the family. When I first heard it, I was living with the family. One of the leaders of the family was explaining why King David was important. And he says it's not because he's a good man, it was because he was a bad man. You know, he seduced another man's wife, he actually had the husband murdered, and he wanted to explain why this was a model. And he says to one of the men in the group, he says, suppose I heard you rape 3 little girls, what would I think of you? And this guy, being a human being, says, you would think I was a monster. Well, the leader of the family says, no, not at all, because you're chosen by God for leadership, and so the normal rules don't apply.
I applaud Doug Coe for what he's doing and the fact that he keeps it secret.
Well, to understand the family's approach to wealth, it's a good place to start is their own label for themselves. They like to call themselves the Christian Mafia at times.
And I applaud Doug Coe for what he's doing and the fact that he keeps it secret.
When you're dealing with members of the family, these guys have been chosen by God for leadership, and what the family's going to do is in some ways almost play the role of consigliere, as fixers for these guys. So when I heard about the ensign money, that makes sense as a kind of thing that they might be comfortable with.
And I applaud Doug Coe for what he's doing and the fact that he keeps it secret.
They believe in something called biblical capitalism, and biblical capitalism is the way they're going to bring the gospel to the already powerful. Where the money goes, they believe God goes.
I applaud Doug Coe for what he's doing and the fact that he keeps it secret. And I applaud Doug Coe for what he's doing. And I applaud Doug Coe for what he's doing. And I applaud Doug Coe for what he's doing and the fact that he keeps it secret.
I applaud him for keeping it secret. The Christian Broadcasting Network did also find time in this intrepid report to take a little shot at me, which this week around here is sort of starting to feel like a badge of honor. Here's that part.
But Coe's decision to keep things hush-hush in the House has just led to more media scrutiny.
It's operated by a secretive religious organization.
I love that definition, a secret religious organization. Okay.
They just praised them for being a secretive religious organization.
Okay.
They specifically praised their secrecy.
They did.
I love that the liberal media thinks they're secret.
Yeah. What have they done to deserve that?
I know.
Where the money goes, they believe God goes.
I applaud Doug Coe for what he's doing and the fact that he keeps it secret.